Hello everybody, my name is Jocelyn Nelson and welcome to my equine magazine. This is the first how-to video we'll be doing for the magazine and we're starting off at the very basics, grooming. This is my horse Patriot. He's going to be the subject for most of my how-to videos since he is my horse, and he'll be helping me just show you guys the best ways to take care of your horse, and grooming is the basics of that. It's using the brushes to keep your horse's coat clean. Grooming is a great way to check your horse for injuries every time you see them, just to make sure they're staying happy and healthy. So we'll be starting off with that. Now I'm going to keep moving you guys in a little closer so you can really see what I'm doing. But first I just wanted to show you these. This is what you will find in your basic barn. It's a cross tie, and that's what's going to hold your horse in place so that he doesn't fidget around or run around the barn while you're trying to groom him. So there is a cross tie on either side of the horse, and they will lock on to the side of their halter. The first comb that you're going to use is the curry comb. It's usually a round circular comb with these ridges on it, and those ridges are what are going to help you to kick up the dirt and the loose fur on your horse's coat that you'll be able to brush off later. Now when using the curry comb, you're going to be using small circles along your horse's coat. This again is going to kick up all the dirt and debris that's underneath your horse's coat to get it all up so we can brush it off and keep it healthy. The curry comb you will use along their neck, shoulders, side, back, stomach, and rump. Now you can go down as far as the thigh, but with most curry combs you're not going to want to go lower than that because it can be rough on their bones and knees. Because this is a more flexible curry comb, that's not as much of a problem if you're trying to lightly get off some mud and dirt. You want to apply just a little bit of pressure, enough to kick up that dirt and loose debris, but not enough to hurt your horse. The next brush you're going to want to use is the hard brush. Don't confuse this with the soft brush or the face brush that you will be using later. This brush is a little bit bigger than your hand or the size of your hand, and it has a little bit of rougher bristles, but they're mostly soft for the horse's coat. Now with this, you're going to be swiping off all the dirt and debris that you got kicked up from under the fur with the curry comb. This should be used in long strokes that go along your horse's body. It's good to flick your wrist a little bit at the end and make sure that dirt gets off and onto the floor. This you can use on almost any part of your horse's body except for the face. You can go below the knee with this if there's dirt there that you couldn't get off with your curry comb. One spot you really want to make sure you get well as far as brushing is this girth line right here. Now this girth line is where your girth's going to go that holds your saddle on. So you want to make sure it's nice and clean so nothing's going to get caught under that or rub the horse in a way that could hurt. The third brush you're going to want to use is the soft brush or the face brush. As you can see, this is pretty much what it sounds like, a softer, smaller version of the hard brush. And this is what you're going to use for your horse's face, either to get the loose hair off of it or whenever they start to get these little bit of marks from wearing their halter often. And it's just going to help get that fur off and smooth things out a little bit. A lot of horses, as a bonus, like to be scratched on their forehead. They enjoy that. He's a little feisty today because he's been standing in the cross ties for a while. But you're going to want to just use that. Try to avoid their eyes. If you can, if your horse will let you, cover the eye a little bit when you're brushing above it, just to protect from dirt and debris getting in there. And you'll do this all over your horse's face with light strokes. You don't want to be too rough for them. Also, my horse is touchy with his ears, so I try to use this as a time to just work with his ears a little bit, do some light rubbing on them, let him know that my hand isn't going to eat his ear. So if your horse has a similar problem, take this opportunity to just get your hands on their face, let them know that it's safe, and let them relax. The next step is one that makes a lot of novices a little nervous, and that's picking your horse's hooves. And this is really important though because it does get all those rocks and pebbles or anything that's gotten stuck in their horse's hooves over time out of there to make it more comfortable for them to ride and to avoid your horse going lame. Now this is what you're going to use. This is a hoof pick. This is the most common one that you'll find. Has the pick on the end and a brush to help you get off all that loose debris. Now to pick your horse's hoof, you're going to want to run your hand down their leg and lean just a little bit into their shoulder and give them a little pressure right here on what you would call their chestnut. If you can see it on the other leg, it's this portion. If you give that just a light squeeze and lean into your horse a bit, he'll pick his hoof up. Now, you probably want to use your dominant hand to hold the hoof pick, and you want to cradle their hoof and portion of their ankle with your other hand. Now, if it's just a very light amount of dirt like this, you're going to want to brush first, get as much off as you can, and then pick out the rest. Now you're always going to want to pick away from you. As you can see, his frog is a little bit sensitive right now, so we're going to be light and easy on that. This part of the hoof is called the frog. It's a portion of flesh that's the most soft and it's all the nerve endings in the horse's hoof. So you're going to want to really be careful with that, make sure it's very clean. When you're done, don't just drop your horse's hoof. Help him ease it down a little bit, and then you'll move along to the back hoof. Now for this, I just keep my hand on my horse's side, let him know where I'm going, and do the same thing. You're going to give a light squeeze on their hock and lean a little bit into your horse. Ask him to lift it up. Now if your horse is a kicker, this is where you're going to want to be careful. You're going to want to cradle the hoof again and stretch it out just a little bit so that it's not too crunched up on your horse's leg. Now same thing where you can see there's a little bit more debris and dirt in this horse's hoof. So you're going to want to pick it away. Now you want to gently make sure you get the dirt out of the middle of the frog as well. Don't press too hard, just try to kick up that dirt. But also you want to be careful that you don't worry too much about hurting your horse to the point where you don't use enough pressure at all to get the dirt out. Don't be scared to do a little bit of a dig. Make sure you get all the dirt out of your horse's hoof. These areas are where the most dirt is going to get trapped. Now you can go a little bit towards you when you're getting this back area because you don't want to neglect this part of the hoof either that also traps dirt. Also, make sure you never kneel beside your horse while you're picking their hooves. You need to be able to move away quickly if possible if the horse gets hurt or decides to kick or gets nervous, or if the horse starts stepping around. Actually, I was probably doing a poor thing having my foot so close to where his hoof might come down. Now, when you're done, let them ease their hoof to the ground. Try not to let them kick out like that. Help him ease it down if he's being a little rough about it. And there you go. So that was our first how-to video on grooming. And as you can see, it's just a really nice way to spend some time with your horse. Even if this is all you get to do during your visit to the barn, make sure you get out frequently to groom your horse, check them over, and just make sure they're safe, happy, and healthy, and they have a nice clean coat. It'll prevent a lot of diseases as far as rain rot. It can help with that. It's a good way to check for injuries on your horse. So try to do this as many times a week as you can possibly get out to your stables. So thank you very much for tuning into our first how-to video, and I hope you come and check out more.